Next, I want to go over some of the additional gestures that each sample pad can have. You've already seen earlier on that we can add samples by swiping down, and then to the left deletes a sample, to the right adds a sample. But there are other gestures too, like if you hold down on a sample pad and slide right, that's you see a little gear appear, and it's another way to get into the preferences where we went over choke groups and the effects matrix. Other gestures are slide up to reveal the record controls that we'll go over later, but to the right is resampling, to the left is microphone and line in. And then the last gesture is to slide to the left, which locks the sample pad. And actually what this actually is it's a gesture lock. So oftentimes when you have a lot of things going, and depending on the orientation of the iPad, I'm tapping on things, and oftentimes in the past I would accidentally delete things or open up things. So the lock itself is to lock out the gestures, so you can't accidentally do things. To unlock it, you just slide to the left again, it'll unlock, slide to the left. So again, the lock is a gesture lock. It's not that you can't edit the sample or change anything about it. One of the next things to go over is that Samposium comes with different layouts. And what these different layouts do is just provide different amounts of real estate to the different views of the app itself. So balanced, it literally is just a balanced view with everything kind of getting equal spacing, versus pads, where pads have a lot more space to show how many sample pads you have, or what you want to see, but the pads are in the focus on the sample pads while everything else is over to the right. The other view is the performance view, where sample pads and other windows will be displayed on the left, but the effects get the prime real estate, so you can use multiple hands and do all these like crazy effectsy gestures and stuff. So when you're performing, you can just make like some sample putty by squishing things around and all that kind of stuff. So again, there is 3 different layouts. There is pads, where pads are the priority focus. There's balanced, where everything shares the screen real estate equally. And then performance, which gives the effects the most screen real estate. All right. Next, I want to talk about colors across this Samposium. So this was designed that I wanted it to be very friendly to people that are colorblind or have any kind of like color scene challenges, and I was trying to figure out the best way to decide on what colors, and then I was just like, just let the people decide what colors they want to use. So everything in Samposium, for the most part, you can change the color of. So if you go into here, into the sample pad preferences, we just tapped on the name in the sample info area, that you'll see all these colors down here. And again, you'll see dice. So this right now is the pad over here. So if we randomize it, you'll see that it changes. Let's make it even bigger from the preferences so you can see it. And you can change the colors to kind of whatever you want. And then also, if we go to the actual app preferences, which we haven't covered yet, but we'll eventually get to, is that you can change the layout's color. So say you don't like this color of a layout and you want something a little bit more simple. How about just gray? And then, you can have all this. You're like, each of these effects, you're like, I don't like this pink. You can change the effect color by going to the effects through the value or the gear, and then going to the second tab. You can change the effects to, let's make it dark red, and now we have that. And then if you actually go to the sample pad preferences, you can randomize all the effects colors if you're just feeling kind of spicy, where you can have any color you want. There is also more color options. Well, I guess it's kind of a color option, but there is a dark mode versus a light mode, right? So if you want, your screen to be really bright and very vibrant looking, there is dark mode and light mode. And yeah, these are just some of the color choices that can be made within the app itself. There's an Alt EQ color, which you can turn on or off. I had it on, which it goes from purple to pink versus the normal green, yellow, red. Yeah, and so this is some of the color options that Samposium offers, as well as the different layouts and the gesture system.